Okay, we should be live. It's probably a couple seconds behind here, but what I'm doing here is this is my previous rig. It's a 4790k. We are going to be doing a couple things here. I don't know which one I need here. I got like 3 Hyper 212s. And this one's unopened here. I got a little bit of better light, some really makeshift lighting. I do apologize, guys, but hopefully the lighting's a little bit better. Let me see if I can get. Hold on one sec, guys. I'm gonna try moving this over a little bit to see if it looks any better or not. So I'm gonna turn this way. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I know. Fiance's telling me, hey, you're live. So this is what we're doing. So we're getting this prep for sale. I got a friend of mine who's buying this from me. So this is what we're installing today. Now, there's a better cooler in here. He doesn't like the idea of liquid cooling. We're not overclocking. We're just going to do the regular boost, so I'm cool with that. Unfortunately, I can't use a cooler for my own means, but it is what it is. So without further ado, so the first thing you need to do here is I'm going to reposition the cameras. There's actually 2 screws. So you guys are looking, this is the top up here. So we have to remove this so we can get to the cooler. So this piece, it's kind of dusty. I gotta blow it out before I give it to him here. Well, not give, but before he picks it up. And I'm gonna go ahead on the top here, and I'll turn this so you guys can see it. There are a bunch of screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. So that's what I'll be doing here. Is I'll lay it back down on its side. So I do see I have 2 people here. That's pretty cool. And it looks like the stream is a little bit behind, which is fine. So let me bring this back up here so I can actually see in real time what I'm looking at here. So I'm just going to pop these screws out. Then I have to take the fans out as well, which isn't too big of a deal. It seems the fans are the bane of my existence though, so let me know if the audio is good. I'm going to move this up a little bit closer so we have a better direct path. So far you guys have said I sound better. That's definitely a good thing. With the new Yeti mic and everything like that. So I'm being told to look at the chat. Yeah. So I guess my only person looking is going to be my fiance. But hey, you guys can watch it later. So, but this is an NZXT Kraken X60 or 61. I bought it actually off someone on Craigslist for like $50 like a year and a half ago. I can't reuse this, unfortunately. My P400 won't fit. There's not enough clearance to the motherboard in my P400 Fantex case. So I think I'm going to go with the Kraken X31. I think that's a 120 AIO that I'm going to put in the rear. That'll be better than the Hyper 212 that I'm rocking. So now that this is free here, as you guys can see, let me go ahead and bring that back up so I can see in real time here. Grab it so it doesn't fall and break something here. For those who are curious about the specs, we have a EVGA 970 for the wind board. It's been very solid, so no complaints on that. That's right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the fans out next because I'm just going to put them right back in here. So fan-wise, so you guys see here on the top, obviously fans in each corner. These actually look kind of orangish, but they actually are red. They're Cougar hydraulic bearing fans. I've been very happy with them. Good static pressure. It kept this CPU under 70 degrees at 4.5 gigahertz at 1.225 volts. So definitely Definitely really, really good fans. I would say very comparable, like an SP-120, I would suspect. Well, these are actually 140mm fans. But definitely would buy again. Went RGB this time around, so that's why I wanted the SP-120s. And I'll actually be doing SP-120s the whole way around here in the future. So here, I'll move this over so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. Just removing the fan screws. These are the longer ones here as my makeshift mount almost falls. Probably should get a, here, I'll actually do this here. We clear this off. Put this on here. Hopefully the lighting doesn't get any worse. So, these are the through and through screws that they give you, which is pretty cool. Won't be using those again for this build, but they definitely serve me well. Wow, this radiator is dusty. I'm not... Whew. So, granted, it wasn't affecting thermals, but man, you can see that dust. This definitely needs cleaned out. So, I'm glad I'll be doing this before he picks it up. Let me actually... This is a bad idea, but I'm going to turn the fan on since it's a little warm in here. Obviously, I have my personal computer on. Oh, real quick, guys. So I'm going to adjust this. I apologize as I break it. Let me remove the water bottle here and take a step back. So build's done. I have the cable mod cables that are sleeved, which is really cool. I can barely see up there. So definitely really happy about that. So it's pretty much, you know, done for now. Oh, complete side note. Another shout out to Micro Center. I can't thank those guys enough here. Basically, the Ryzen CP went on sale, and they were able to real-time price adjust it for me, so I was pretty happy about that. That's probably too much of an angle. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, probably shouldn't have taken this down. There we go. Should be good. So I actually got $50 back on the CPU. And then I got $10 back on the NVMe SSD. So pretty happy about that. $50 is back in the pocket. For anybody that's local, I'll be doing a lot of PC work, repair, fixing, buying, selling, used, new, all that fun jazz. So I'll be doing, depending on what you guys want, I'll be doing either the cheapskate build, which is the G46 or 4560 build with a 1050, or a mid-range build with a 7600K and an RX 480. Those are the two options. I'll probably link the straw poll here if you guys want. Well, the one person that's watching, which I know who that is. Okay, so these are out. It's not in with the fans hanging over. Okay, let me see. Okay, so this is pretty standard mounting. Thank God. The Hyper 212 is always fun to mount. This actually has a LED fan. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it on there or not. I have a spare Hyper 212 fan laying around. So, if you guys want to see what I'm doing here, I'll move this over here for now. So, to get you guys just a tad closer. Where's my screwdriver at? Okay. So, these pieces, I'm untightening those to remove. So if I can get you guys a little bit of a, yeah, I know, clean the vent. Well, it's actually a radiator if you want to be specific, by the way. So, let's see if... Probably should, I'm tightening these crossways, but it is what it is. So those are good. That one's good. So the backplate definitely just fell out, which is fine. I'm going to be using a different backplate here in a second anyhow, so... So, I do like their mounting hardware though. How everything mounts. So, where is, so that's there. That's there. And SATA power is... Now, let's move the phone out of the way. I believe the SATA power connector is caught back here somewhere. Yeah, it is. Pacific? Whatever. Smart ass. Okay, so yes, I know. This needs cleaned. I'll get that done in a little bit. This whole thing actually needs dusted out. So, let's go ahead and remount these fans. I'm going to turn this bad boy on its side. Ideally, I'm going to want to mount these like this so I can just shove these down here. I'm going to miss working this case. This time for a new case, but I'll be honest, easiest case I've ever built in, bar none. So much room. I mean, you can fit a triple rad in the front, double rad in the top with so much space. You can hide cables so easily. It was definitely so. Okay, so I need some screws here. I'm gonna say probably not these ones, I would suspect. I probably could reuse them if I wanted to. Alright, time for the screw hunt here. Nope, no one over there. Let me find these and see if these have any spare screws left. If not, I have to go hunt for them. And okay, 1, 2, probably. Looks like I have enough. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So, found them. Yes, I know the sweeper is downstairs. Hush. You know, this is why I need my fiance. That's why I need this channel to kind of take off here, is because my fiance is going to spend the entire time just trolling me in chat. I'm told to get it off her chair. My bad. There you go. Okay. Just start the screws. These actually have to make their own groove here, so. Oh, we're bringing dust on here. By the way, it's a bad idea to use a sweeper to clean out a computer. You ideally want to use something that strictly does forced air, not suction. You don't want to create any kind of static electricity. You guys say how I build on carpet and wear socks, which is what I'm doing right now. But you definitely do not want to create any kind of electricity. So. Definitely, what I have, my parents still have their air compressor. I was supposed to take it with me when I moved out, but I didn't. So I'll be running over their place sometime this week to clean everything out, and then I'll take a Q-tip and kind of fix it up from there. So, spec-wise, getting back to that 4790k, it's going to be stocked, like I said, for the customer. Oh, hey, welcome. First time watching live here. So, for the person that just joined, and anybody else who is watching at home, I'm doing a rebuild log of my computer. It's not the Ryzen one, it's my 4790k build with the 980 Ti. What I'm doing is I took out the all-in-one liquid cooler because the customer who's purchasing it from me has some things about liquid cooling, and we've discussed it, and he's just not comfortable with it, so I went with the Hyper 212. have that here. So I'll show you guys how to install that. It's relatively easy, but the first time can be a little bit of a daunting task. So now, since I took out the all-in-one cooler, I'm screwing the fans back in. So that's almost done here, and then I'll show you guys how to get Hyper 212 installed. In this case, will actually probably be harder to install the 212, just because how wide it is. So I'm not sure how much of it I'll be able to show you versus doing slightly off camera here. I hate screwing in fans. So use my Posi drive here. It's easier. Okay, so we're good there. I'm going to go ahead and get some Kleenex and wipe off the CPU here. Oh, cool. What do you plan on building? Just out of curiosity, if you want any recommendations, I'm more happy to answer to them on the stream. Hyper 212 is a really, really, really good budget cooler. It won't be able to hold up this overclocked, but at stock it will definitely have no problem. I'm rocking a Hyper 212 in my current rig. It's doing okay, not fantastic, but here's what I'll do. I'm going to make a little bit of a background here for you guys. Add display screen, yes. So we got that. Let's bring up EVGA. Just so you guys have something to... Okay, that didn't work. Oh well, you guys are back to that then. So, let me get some cutters to open this here. So, just out of curiosity, so first ever Cuber, what are you building? What's the contents of your rig? I'll definitely be able to be more than happy to, if you want any recommendations or advice, I'm more than happy to give it to you here. I wouldn't say I'm the most knowledgeable. There's a lot of people out there that probably do more than 3 or 4 builds a month. Okay, 6600K Corsair H115i. Pretty solid, no complaints there. What's your intended use for, just out of curiosity? I'll wait for it to catch up. You know, it's crazy. Motherboard selection used to be extremely important back in the day. And I would go to say it's not as important as it used to be. You know, unless you have some serious issues, most of your Z97 or Z170, Z270 boards are going to get the job done. There's definitely no doubt about that. You know, it's really about feature set, and if you're going to do some serious overclocking versus basic overclocking, if it has the proper VRM, the proper cooling, things like that, is usually pretty essential. I think this has AM4 mounting. Really? Probably could have used this kit for my computer. Actually, I'll look at that later. But 1070. Yeah, so for World of Warcraft in this scenario, if that's going to be your main game, probably best going with a 6600 or 7600, whatever your flavor is. You know, I actually experienced pretty solid frame rates north of 100 with my Ryzen build. But there's definitely no doubt, and I answered this question for somebody earlier, I'm not sure if it was you. But basically for WoW only, Intel is going to definitely squeak out more FPS. There's definitely no doubt about that. So that build should definitely serve you really well. And they gave me some cheap thermal paste. That's fine. I got good Cooler Master stuff. So for those of you who haven't installed one of these in a while, thermal paste. I usually use the line method. Some people like the dot. It's been proven, honestly, it's not, as long as you don't put too much on and you put at least, you know, not too much, not too little. It's kind of a joke, but it's honestly true. So, this is a Hyper, sorry, it's a Hyper 212. It's not an Evo. Actually, I apologize. It's a Hyper 212 LED. So, this is going to be interesting. I may actually have to bust out the manual for this to see how everything goes on. I'm going to assume this is, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're going with a, tell me, do you? I've actually heard a lot about the Master Case Pro. A lot of people liked it. It doesn't seem the case for me, but a lot of people have given really good feedback about it. So you should be pretty happy with it, I would suspect. Okay, so I'm going to take a guess and say these are the nuts that you need for 1150. And this is probably for AM4, I would suspect. I'll actually have to take a guess at it. Remember, don't forget, for those who have installed one of these before, remove the plastic piece at the bottom. Because I know there's more people watching this later. So, I'm going to do a quick test on here. So, yeah. So, I'm pretty sure this will poke up through the board, and then this will slide right on here, I would suspect. So, I'm going to turn the case your guys' way here. Sweet. So I'm just going to hand tighten these for now. Definitely don't want to over tighten them. You want to make sure you make pretty good contact as well when you go to actually mount everything. I swear like using this case is cheating. Okay, so now that that's in, I'll remove my cables. So, let me see what looks better for you guys here. I'm going to, oops, as the camera falls, get a little bit more. Here, let me slide this around here. Nope, you guys have no line of sight. Alright. It's gonna have to go this way then, guys, sorry. That way you guys can see. So, oh man, it's been a lot since I've done one of these. So I guess I can't mount it that way, can I? I guess I can. Okay. So remember when you go to mount this, take the fan off first. It will save you a lot of headache down the road. These literally have clips, one on each side. And okay. So it looks like, yeah, these came with this particular one, it came with these little tiny screws. I'm not sure if you guys can see here. And that screw will go down in this hole right there. So that's what I'll do next. Where's my other screwdriver? It's probably on the floor somewhere. Ideally, I like to use the other screwdriver because it's magnetized. Let's see if I can find it real quick. No. Probably gonna have to do this one off camera, guys, because I don't have my go-to screwdriver. think I need to get my go-to screwdriver. Now it's going to cause me to get very annoyed. Or at least something a little bit smaller. Nope, not under the 980 Ti. Nope, not there. Okay, I'm just going to have to grab the small set. As much as I hate it, but I don't know where the magnetized screwdriver is, so. Just gonna get screw that down in there. Looks like the one I grabbed was too small. It's kind of spinning freely here, so. Huh. Interesting. That doesn't seem to catch at all. This is probably when you grab the directions, but logic would say that that should have. You know what I think it is? Stupid me. And this goes to show you no matter how many years you've been building, you still make mistakes. I think this goes under, not over. That would make sense why it didn't work. So, what I'm going to do for you guys here is show you. I'll try this instead. Put it down through there, and then try to screw this in. Well, the bad news is clearly I'm wrong in both scenarios. So, what I'm going to try to do is see, A, if I can find a screw up just drop, that'd be nice. Which, there we go, got it. And B, what about the good old-fashioned directions? Never used the regular Hyper 212 before, so I guess everything's a little different. Okay. Got it. Although I got some thermal paste on it already, but I got it. I had it right, was putting the screw in the wrong way. That would explain it. There we go. Now I think about it, I actually do remember that. So you guys know, it still goes in this way on top here, like that, but you screw it in from the bottom. There you go. Okay, so did a quick test fit here, and these should probably be on the middle one, I'm thinking. So I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. So these springs, they have a couple different levels you can do. Let me see if these line up now. They do. So in this scenario, definitely need to tighten in a cross pattern, because you need to get as much even pressure as possible. Uneven pressure and you'll run into problems. Some cores will run a little bit hotter, some cores, you know, you won't be able to get a stable overclock, all that fun jazz. So in this scenario, I will say be careful with over tightening, but once it pretty much locks down, you're good. So I'm using my Posi drive here. There we go. And then I have a 512 gig SSD that's going in here. Actually already has an operating system on it. I'm going to get the license I used off of there to reload it. So I did purchase a license for it. SSD, by the way, it's right here. So remember that fan I told you to take off? It's time to put it on. This is the reason why I told you guys to take it off. But first things first is how you want to mount it. So my CPU fans are up front here. So you know, right behind the cooler, down on the board. So I'm actually going to put it on like this with the strip, or the power cord here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this around, and it just reaches perfectly. So show you guys what I did here really quick. So I took it around here, up and around, and then it plugs in right up here. So that's what I end up doing for that. So that part's done. There's really not much more to do because I didn't really take this computer apart completely. So what got me all my views? Graphics card installation. So, oh, where are my thumb screws? Okay, so here they are. So I chose this slot for a couple reasons. But I think actually I'm going to put it in the top slot this time. So let me move this down here. Just because more room. So if you look at what I'm doing here, I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. So let me actually get some better light here. Hang tight, guys. Okay, so there is screws all through here. Now, some of them were missing. That's where I had it before. I already took off the second from the top. I'm going to take off the top one. So that's what I'm working on at this moment. So I'll give you guys a little bit of light so you can see here. So in this case, I'm going to grab my screwdriver to break it loose. Nope. Yes. I literally just dropped that on the graphics card too, so hopefully that's still working. If not, I'm calling EVGA. They're usually pretty good with replacing stuff. Even when I brick the motherboard in the middle of the night. For that reason alone, I use their products, I won't say almost exclusively, but for a lot of things I do. So all I'm doing now is screwing back in, if it'll let me. Thumb screw I just took out here. There we go. Perfect. Now I'm just moving down the bracket. I'm still missing 2 brackets. I have them somewhere. But hopefully it isn't too bright for you guys here. So GPU installation is actually very, very, very simple. So let me show you guys a couple things first. So some cases have knockout brackets right down here. Some of them, like mine, will pop out with thumb screws. It varies. What you want to do first is just see what port you're putting in. Sometimes they don't have a top port. Sometimes they start here, so make sure these line up. So I already took out the thumb screws and took out the 2 top screws. So next thing you want to look at is, especially if you're a novice here, there's 3 pieces here. You have the back piece, you have the main PCI Express slot, and then you have a hold down here. And the hold downs look different Okay, I'm going to give you guys a quick close-up here. Give you guys some more light. So the hold down right there with the black tab at the very top, the black kind of blends in, the main and then the back piece there. So what I'm going to do here, hopefully, well first, let me see if there's a way I can get permanent light up here. Oh, that'll work. That'll work, so I'm using a bunch of different things, but first things first is here's the graphics card. So let's swing this guy around here so you guys can see. Here is the back piece, the main part, and then the hold down goes there. All you really need to do in this case is line it up with the top slot. Just make sure you got it in the back too, because that sometimes catches up. Once it's lined up, push down. Very simple. So now I'm going to take my 2 thumb screws here. How much is the PSU you're installing? I apologize. PSU is already installed. I'll be honest, it's not a top-of-the-line power supply, so it's not like a G2 series. It's actually an EVGA G1 series. I've ran multiple things off of it. I ran 980S or 970 SLI out of it. So I don't recommend anybody to buy it, but at the time it was an okay power supply. So that's the route that I went with. It's 650 is what I have in it. It is way more than what the system needs. To give you an idea, maximum power draw on this particular system will probably be around like 350. So I couldn't quite like SLI and get another one in there, but you know, plenty of extra headroom here. So my actual rig, so the one that I'm streaming off of right now, is a G2 550, and I have a 1080, soon to be 1080 Ti, and a Ryzen CPU with a bunch of LEDs. I haven't done a power draw test, but it shouldn't be very high. You know, I would expect south of 400. So next part. So let's turn this way. I have 2. Let me see if I can get a better picture here. These are called 6+2s. Okay. Now this particular GPU only requires one 8-pin, a 6+2, and a 6-pin. So I'm going to plug one set in here. Again, turn this towards me so you guys can see better. And then I'm going to take this piece and just move it off to the side, and then plug this piece in. So for those of you who haven't done a graphics card, it's one of the easiest things to do by far. Building a computer in general is not super duper difficult. I will do a complete build guide with, if I get a capture card, hopefully live stream, maybe not, we'll see. That's going to depend on one of my 2 viewers that are watching right now. So, okay, so now let's get everything else hooked back up here. So, I need some fan headers here. If I remember correctly, this thing did not have a ton of fan headers. I have 1, 2 available that I can see. So I might have to get a little bit on the creative side. We'll take a look here. Let me see. Okay. So I'll spin this around so you guys can see the power, or the man, you take care. I appreciate you coming in. So this is why I love this, because I have a rat's nest back here, and you honestly would never know. How many SATAs do I have? Hopefully only 1. It is dusty back here. Okay, so these 2 are back here. All I have to, I do want to make sure the fronts are hooked up, and I don't know where the fronts are hooked up to yet. I have a couple SATA ports as well. So let me see. So these are coming out here. So that one's good. So 2 of them are good. I think I'm good. Where's this one go here? Oh, okay. I have enough ports. Thank God. So I'm going to go through the top here. And actually, where do I have it? I have it at the top, and I think I said I have it at the bottom as well. Oh no, okay, they're both up here, that's right. One's a CPU chassis fan. It's fine, I'll use it, no big deal. So I probably should have put this in though. Okay, so to show you guys what I'm trying to do here. So, get some more light in here. There's one fan header down there, if you guys can see it. And I almost want to see if I can just put this on the Hyper 212 without it falling. Not quite. Need a little bit more pivot here. There we go. You guys can see what I'm doing. So there we go. We're in. I'll tuck this down. Nothing looks that favorable. I'll tuck this down around here. Call that a day. So that part's done. Let me re-tighten this here. So let me extend these again. Oops. Too much looking down here apparently. So that one's in, and then this last one's going to come up top here. So find where this one's at. So I'm actually going to keep, I can actually see from here, so I'm just going to do this one real quick. There we go. I'll keep most of that back here. I have a DVD drive. Yes, I do. Ugh. People actually still use these, believe it or not. DVD drive, that's how they come back. So. Still streaming at a pretty good bit rate though, so that's a good thing. 60 FPS, which is ideal. I'm only doing this because this is one of the last things I still have to do, so this is pretty cool, putting these in. I don't want, I think it goes in like this. Literally, just like that. Which is really cool. So, let me lock this here. And of course it's not locking right. Yay, I said it was easy, but I lied. So now I gotta flip it over and take a look. How to use these again. Oh. Pretty sure I have it upside down. That's why. There we go. All I had to do. So, solid state drive time. This one's easy. So, straight up here, in case you guys were wondering. Here, I'll turn this off for now. There we go. There we go. So, little SSD drive gauge is very simple. Installed, done. So, all I need to do is, I have a SATA connector that's already plugged in. I'll run, make sure that's the right way. One there. Ooh, that does not reach. Let's try that one again. There we go. That should be enough slack. I'm not sure if I like that. No, I don't. So, improvise. The problem is I don't remember where my SATA cable was. I presume these are universal, so I'm stealing one for myself here. I'm going to assume that since the custom sleeve cables I got are the same, these should be the same. So, first things first is let's see how long this one is. This one has more slack on it, so I'm cool with that. And then I have, pull this out, put this back in the box for later. And I already ran the SATA connectors. Honestly, I don't think order is all that important. So, well, consider I'm wiping out the drive anyway, it's not all that important. So, done there. Let's get everything packaged back up. Let's see if I did this right. I know, I should probably test it first before I do all this. It's probably definitely some good words to go by. There's some thumb screws. I wonder why all these extra thumb screws all of a sudden. I realize I have a computer taken apart here. So I actually have a monitor. You actually can't see it from here, but I have a monitor right next to it. So that's my old 1080p Acer monitor. So I'll make some room here in a minute. I'll leave this side panel off in the meantime. All these screws I'm just going to chuck in here for the time being. I don't know what those are for. Those in there. Two in there. Two in there. Guess that's some thermal paste. I'll use that later. D-pads. Two over there. Two in there. Okay, let's stand this bad boy up. I need some more thumb screws, I forgot. Actually don't know what I do with all the thumb screws. I had like a bunch over here and couldn't find out where they went to. And now I need them and can't find them. I'll take some out of here. And I'll find more later. Brand new thumb screws nonetheless. Love the feeling of those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go live with you guys playing. I haven't figured it out yet. Oh, hey, I found more thumb screws. Sweet. Put the two newest ones in here. How do I find three? I don't think that's possible. Wow, with me anything's possible. Okay, so let's turn this bad boy around. Let's move you around a little bit here. Nope, not what we wanted. So you guys can see that. Actually, let's give you guys a top mounted view. Why not? Let me see here. $10 says I dropped screws all over the place. That's going to be fun to pick up later. Okay. Let's move everything out from under here for the time being. Put you in there. I can see it now. As soon as my fiance sees that, she's going to laugh. Okay. Yeah, you guys can see my giant head. I've hooked this thing up so many times, I swear. I know everything goes by heart. Let me actually clean up these screws before they go everywhere. I'll put these over here. Knock on wood, my lamp hasn't fallen over yet. So the lighting here is brought to you by Philips Hue and lamps that we don't use. So that's how we deliver a little bit better lighting now. Yeah, being an early content creator, you know, when you're trying to invest a ton of money into bringing content, you don't have the best ways of doing things here. Don't fall, don't fall. Thank you. Yes. Alright, now we just need some HDMI. Yes. This one actually might require me to move this for a minute, guys. Sorry. And now we need some power. I could have sworn I had a power cable going up through here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Found it. Power and internet, actually. Oh, sweet. About to be a moment of truth, guys. No sound though, so just bear with me on that. We have video. Here's what I'm going to do. I'll move this back a little bit so you guys can see. That's me and my lovely fiance, by the way, for those of you who are wondering. Yep, just found the video driver. That's right password. Okay, and we're up and running. Let's check temperatures real quick. No, I don't want to update. 48 degrees C on the core. Let me make sure that's not overclocked. Oop, as I knock over the why not just put it in front of me? You guys won't be able to see me anyway. Okay. Auto. Okay, CPU dies down. We're good. Let's check the memory real quick. 1.5 volts, good. What temperature or what speed is the memory running at? 1600, good. Okay, so see, the CPU is running. I mean, we should be good. No overclock or anything like that. I'll probably, before I give it to him, what I'll probably do is instead of overclocking it, I'm just going to set the voltage down. So I was running 1.225 volts with a 0.05 voltage offsets for a max of 1.25 and stable 2 years, no problem. So I do have a question though. How do you guys think about the black and red LED for that? I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I think he'll like it too. To give you an idea, clearly, obviously, I'm not making money on this particular rig. You know, the guy I'm selling it to is a guy who I've done work for before, and he's given me a computer that I built him as partial payment for it. And then I'll be featuring his computer versus something upcoming pretty soon. So that's actually pretty exciting. So, yes, I know. It's not the newest one. So, yeah, I'm okay. What I'll do is I'll check. Here, I'll open up CPU-Z here. Actually, I don't have CPU-Z on here? Really? That's disappointing. This operating system's so messed up, guys. Like, it needs to be reloaded so bad. I already got all my stuff off it today, and then I'm going to, I forget what COA I used. I'll pull the license and go ahead and go from there. And let's go. I know I have EVGA on here. So GP is good. Finished. So let's take a quick look at CPU-Z. I don't have any sound going, guys. That's why you can't hear anything. So 4.2 boost, that should be good. And then let's go. What program do I need? Not Adobe. I7-4790k. Not sure if this computer's had it before. I need to buy a license for this stuff so I can use it later. We got licenses for everything else, so Adobe, Microsoft, Windows. Speaking of which, I have a Kingwin affiliation, by the way. You guys buy anything off of there? Games, Windows licenses, all this fun stuff. Use my Windows affiliate. I'll be honest, I get money for it. But the reason I'm telling you guys that is because to, you know, to give you an idea, you know, how all in we are. Me and my fiance have put up all the money for this. So for the Yeti mic, which wasn't cheap. This webcam is a C922. That wasn't cheap. That camcorder back there is a Canon RF800. That wasn't cheap. This rig, over $2,200. That wasn't cheap. She's going to be getting an editing rig similar to mine. That's not going to be cheap. So, you know, we're putting a ton of money into this channel for you guys because we have the ability to do so. Luckily, we both work very hard and everything like that. But we're putting a lot of money into it because it takes money to make money. You know, it probably is going to be 2 to 3 years before we make more money than what we're spending. So, you know, that way you guys helping us out without giving us anything, just by using links when you go to buy things, you don't pay us anything. The company you buy from does. It helps us out tremendously. So, you know, just, you know, keep that in mind. It definitely helps us out a lot. Oops, wrong thing. Stability test. That's what we want. So let's go ahead. Now, ideally, you should run this for quite a while, probably a couple hours. But I'm curious where the temps are going to spike. As long as I can keep it below, say, that's PWM. If I can keep it below 80, that's ideal for I7-47. I don't see it going much above 75, so I should be fine there. But anyway, guys, this was what was my rebuild log of the 4790K. 16 gigs of RAM, EVGA 980 Ti superclocked. I'll give you guys some quick more clam footage. Hyper 212 with an LED, 512 gig SSD, Cougar hydraulic bearing fans all the way around for intake and exhaust, and 16 gigs of HyperX DDR3 memory at 1600 megahertz. EVGA G1 Supernova power supply. So that's the specs. I will, just so you guys know, the next couple builds I'll be showcasing, I will be selling them to recuperate the money investment that I've put into it. So keep that in mind. The goal is either to break even or make a little bit of money to put that towards the channel. So I'll be showcasing builds with links how to buy them. One's going to be a build that I did about a year ago that I'll be selling for a pretty good price. That's going to feature a 4th gen Core i5 GTX 964 gig. I believe it has 8 gigs of RAM, SSD, and a hard drive. I think with Windows 10 as well. Fully legitimate, probably between $500 and $600 is what I'm going to be asking for it. Locally, I won't ship. It's too difficult to ship, unfortunately. But thank you guys for tuning in to the rebuild log of my previous gaming computer. In the description, we're going to have our Facebook page. Definitely like us out. Like us there. Subscribe to the channel. Give me feedback. If it's feasible and everybody wants something, I will try to do it for you guys. Whether it's a build or a particular product you want me to review or test or whatever have you. You guys get to dictate. That's a nice thing. Since you guys are going to help me expand the channel, you guys get to see the content you want. Anyway, Amazon affiliation. I get money to help with more content. King One affiliation, same thing. Subscribing and sharing is probably the biggest thing for me, guys. So any of those things you guys do will help us out tremendously. But anyhow, guys, this is Steve from PC Budget Solutions signing off, and I will see you guys down the road.